Oh, perfect. Hello, this is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people have agreed to join me in a game tonight, and that makes me very happy. These people are, in no particular order, Sarah, playing Amanda slash somebody else, Elizabeth, for us this evening. Hello, what are you doing when you're not here? Put in links.
Uh, okay. Let me grab the links first because I totally forgot to do this.
That's okay. The
Um,
link's so big that it's actually making your camera stutter. That's a big link. There it
yes.
is.
Um, so I have my YouTube channel, Tango Productions. I am working on a wonderful project called Bravely Broken. I run Deviant Futures. I am in the Sunday game as Bite.
Yep.
Uh, and yeah, that's it.
Oh, well, that's it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so the other couple of minutes of the week you do life. I appreciate that. I love the effort. Next, let's talk to Nick playing Alexander slash Edward.
Hello, yes, that is
Yes.
me. I play the Alexander slash Edward on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. I also drive Sarah a little bit crazy with Deviant Futures and sometimes post like jokes about my character in Deviant Futures in the Discord.
Yes.
In addition to that, sometimes I change around things in the Discord and don't really tell Kevin because it's usually helping. Although when it comes to making channels, I'm bad at doing it without telling him. Then people say there's a double channel. It's like I know. We're
You
getting
beat
to that.
you beat me to it by a couple seconds, a couple times. But that is our Discord, and it is, as it says in the description, a wonderful community, incredibly supportive. Lots of amazing people, lots of amazing talent, lots of cross pooling of skills and information. It's a support group. Let's just say what it is. We're a big group of people that support each other because sometimes the world sucks. Let's keep going. Next, newest member on our team, Amy. Thank you for joining us. What do you do when you're not here?
I mostly play games, RuneScape, League, Final Fantasy 14. Hang out in Discord.
Excellent. That is many things. Thank you. And that brings us around to our marshal this evening. I know he's got a deputy hat around somewheres. Or not.
Deputy Hat is resting today.
Oh, he's resting. Okay. Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Oh, it's a holiday. Gotcha. Right. Yeah. It's a mustache holiday. I understand.
Yeah, but one
Yeah.
of us still had to work, so
He's
I'm here.
one he has had. But thank you very much for joining us. And where else can we find but not see you?
Well put. Well put. Soon there will be a thing on Mondays here
Yes.
on this channel. Very looking forward to that.
Yes.
Although the particulars we will not be announcing until after the 23rd, so probably the 24th.
So that's like a week from tonight. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be our little session zero for that, and then we can, detail things a little bit more. I'm really excited for it. Besides that, obviously, I'm running this game every Tuesdays. I'm your friendly marshal, or not so
Yeah.
friendly, depending. Although I leave a lot of that up to the dice because it's a lot funnier. That aside, I mod on a number of streams, just to throw the band hammer and of course bully the streamers I mod for. I
Yes.
don't know why they keep me around, but content is content, I suppose. And other than that, I do non-hear things that you don't need to know about.
Yes. Okay. So with that, that's all the people except for me. We're here 6 nights a week, soon to be 7 maybe. Keep tuned for that. And that's all you need to know. More information tomorrow, but go check the Discord for that tomorrow. Tomorrow. I just turned into Annie there briefly, except with no sense of music. Okay, Marshall, take us away.
Okay, so when we last left everybody, you had formed a plan to possibly lure Honest John out of. Well, I can't really say necessarily hiding so much as debauchery in a place that it's difficult to really get at him. You met Hank, who wants his shadow back. He revealed that John had stolen said shadow, and that's how John was doing all those cool shadowy things that he did. Um, he can't interfere directly, but he has set you guys up with a bit of land outside of town. A mining claim that really didn't pan out, but And while everybody was heading out there, where they're supposed to regroup, Bang, of course, decided he was not going to do the thing that he said he was going to do, and for some reason, nobody decided that he actually needed a chaperone, so he faked a mugging and went back to town to spy on the place that John is staying at.
Yes, and got caught.
Yep.
Or at least, yeah, not stopped, but caught. Yeah.
Well, I found out because there's somebody who actually knows about, tracking and such, who came by and was like, yeah, that's fake.
Yeah.
But decided to do nothing with it, whether for better or for worse, remains to be seen. Now, as stated before, the shack that you all are staying in, at least those of you who went where you were supposed to go, didn't have any sort of monsters. There were no animals that you saw in it, but there was a scorpion. Moses found out about the scorpion. Not in the way you generally want to find out about a scorpion. So, Amanda, you probably have an antivenom or something that could help.
Absolutely I do. I just gotta look for it.
All right. And while you're looking for it, evens or odds?
Odds? You know what this is?
Moses is going to be really, really annoyed later when he wakes up and all of his facial hair is now purple. We'll address that. It happens very fast, too. Surprisingly enough, it does seem to be helping the scorpion sting. But not as fast as an actual anti-venom would. This could just be, while he's sort of in his fever dream, the rage powering through. So, he can give a special around the neck hug with both hands. But we'll just have to see how that pans out next session. For now, while Moses convalesces...
He did say he wanted to dye his hair.
He did. Probably something a little less standout than purple, but he was not clear. So, obviously you were just trying to help in your special, yeah, it's fine, sort of way. So,
I'll try.
let's go ahead and let's start with Bang.
Yes.
You slept in an alley
Yes.
like a bum,
Yep. Behind
along with a bunch of other winos and bums.
Yep.
And so you wake up and nobody has peed on you.
That's good.
Which is good.
Yep.
But you still definitely have that I slept in an alley full of winos bouquet.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I just get up and keep watching that back door for a little bit because they're going to have like breakfast deliveries and stuff like that. I want to get an idea of which doors there are, where the guards are. I know we got the information from last week. I just want to confirm that that's the same, if it's the same in daylight.
It is the same in daylight.
Okay.
All of the mundane stuff that would take away from the glitz and glamour that they're trying to project takes place behind the building where the big money spenders aren't likely to see it.
Okay, and then I will do a circuitous route and head out of town towards the direction I was going before, except this time I have to walk.
All right, evens or odds?
Odds.
Okay.
Please.
Well, all right. As you're walking down the road, you actually spot your horse just hanging out at the edge of the road. Nobody's stolen it somehow. It's like feeding on the remains of a bush that still had like 2 leaves on it. 1 leaf, no leaves. It's just kind of, and it looks at you, and maybe it's the ghost rock talking, or possibly it's the slight withdrawal because you haven't lit up today yet.
Yeah, that's
At least
right. Yeah.
not in game.
No.
But you could swear the horse is giving you that "you dumbass, you're lucky I'm here" sort of look that animals can sometimes give you. Just go.
I mean, he's an empath, if nothing else. He walks up and just grabs the reins and just keeps walking like I'm not going to ride the horse. He's like, I know.
The
I'm
horse
an
is
idiot,
kind
but
of
I
annoyed
learned
about
lots
that.
of things.
It's like Wicker. I'm not making horse noises. That's but it's making horse noises.
Yes.
Tossing, kind of tugging on the reins, like, would you just get up here already? It's going to be faster if we do it my way.
Oh, okay, I thought you were pissed off. Jump up on the back. Just be steady. And I try to basically get a little piece of ghost rock to warm up a coffee while I'm riding on the back of my horse.
Oh, great. Give me an agility roll.
That makes perfect sense. What is my agility? Oh, that's one of those.
Yeah, you're actually pretty good at it, but I'm going to make you roll anyway.
Yeah, not that good. 4, just barely.
Just barely. All right.
One success.
It's a little shaky, and
Yeah.
being outside and the horse moving and everything kind of gets some of the vapor and smoke out. But you at least get enough to take the edge off, and that's really the important part.
Okay,
This
and I
is
lean
probably
down
an
to the
opportune
horse.
time
Yeah.
to
I
just remind everybody to take your chips. I
Yeah.
don't know that anybody's rolled.
If anybody hasn't, yeah. I lean forward to the horse. "Oh, when we get there, just play it cool. Sit back and just ride towards the camp.
All right. Eventually you'll get there. While getting there,
Yes.
the siblings Ambison. What are you two guys up to, you folks?
I forgot what our plan was for us.
Right, okay.
There were several.
There were a lot of things we're bandied about.
All right. We don't have any. We don't for some reason get any empty barrels.
Mm.
So I do need a container to pour a good bit of this out because I don't want to use an entire water barrel to start brewing something in the back.
So you need barrels.
Yep.
You have supplies. Remember, you did load
Yep.
up on water and other things, so you've got water and food and such.
And also, what I'd like to do sometime today is take a look at the scrap heap that good friend Hank said that was around of the crazy machines that may or may not still be out here.
Oh, yes. All right.
See if I can get some inspiration, or
Okay.
at least find something that might work as a distillery.
That could potentially still be there. We'll let you give me a mad science roll
Oh, yeah.
just to see if you can figure out anything useful from the piles of would-be, mining bots and explosives that didn't quite, and something that looks disturbingly like somebody's early Wild West attempts at a real doll. That are all just out in the pile there. Hey, people get lonely out in the mines.
That is a 5.
Okay, so you do find there's not a lot of inspiration to be had there, at least none that's appropriate for the plan that you've got going, but you do find enough bits of copper tubing and everything else that you might need to put together kind of a rough still to make this horribly tainted moonshine that you're trying to... Although it's still probably not the most dangerous thing anybody's had to drink in Tombstone.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
So I need to fit those together. Find something probably to heat up with to try to get some of the joints to stick so it doesn't leak so much.
There's
What other
plenty
one?
of, like, I wouldn't call it driftwood, but like scrap wood and things that you could gather to make a fire. They had a bunch of beams and other things poured it out here before they really realized, oh crap, all we're going to get out of this is more dirt and maybe some rock and not the good ghost kind. So it'll take a while, but you can cobble that together. Although do you have any sort of specialty in like creating machines, distillery, alchemy, or are you going to need the Queen of No Labels to assist on that
I
one?
mean, I'd be happy to have her help building this.
She'll be helping the entire time, like anything he's said.
But also part of me is like, if she's helping, would it be better just to start with the charcoal pile? To get that started, so it's a lot harder to mess that up than like trying to get copper to fit.
I mean, that's your call.
Oh, okay, Sarah, evens or odds? The distillery it is.
Okay.
So every game's got to have something that makes it unique. Apparently, we've found ours.
Yep, evens and odds.
Evens and odds.
All right, Sarah, give me a mad science roll of your own.
I don't have mad science. I just have science.
Oh, okay.
Does that work?
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, she knows exactly what she's doing. She's just not organized.
Yes.
Brilliant.
10.
10. Oh, very nice.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
Was
as opposed to
was
like
that on a
picking out the
D10?
right bottle.
That was a D8, and it's supposed to be a D6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't add them.
Oh,
The
No, take
D6
the higher
is
one.
like
Yeah.
your coverage roll. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one that because you're all heroes.
oh.
That's the one
I
that
got
says.
2 5s.
Oh,
not
okay,
counting up.
Okay. Okay.
All right, then you still got a success. That's still
Yeah.
that's still good. It's just not an amazing success.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't know if I was supposed to add them or not. So
That's
No,
okay.
just it's like if you roll, a 2 and a 5, that's the fate saying, even though you really botched this, you kind of didn't. You faked your way into the success.
Yeah. And then the
Like
other thing to
NPCs
remember-
and such
sorry.
don't get that die.
The other thing to remember is dice explode in this game. So if you ever roll a max, roll an add.
Which is really nice. But yep, okay. After some
Yes.
work together, you were putting together, fitting copper pipes, getting bits of glass work together, all of that, and what looked like it was probably a tin bath originally, but it'll hold things well enough probably. But I mean, if nothing else, it'll be a good test for the fluid. If it doesn't corrode the tin too terribly, it probably won't kill anybody. Probably.
probably.
It won't kill them much.
And just as you're finalizing, cobbling everything together, Bang arrives. Slowly and kind of stinkily.
Tie the horse to the hitching post like nobody's watching. Shuffle my pack onto my back and walk in. I guess they're both outside doing stuff.
Yeah, they'd both be outside by the scrap pile.
Hmm.
Hey, how you doing? I got lost. I lied. I went back into town and found some stuff out.
Oh,
What'd you find out?
Like every place I ever been thrown out of, around the back is the easiest way to get in. And their security sucks.
you were in town this morning, right?
I was in town all last night and I didn't blow a damn thing up, and I expect to thank you for that at some point.
I do appreciate not making a commotion. Did you let Little know you're on your way out?
Who?
Our companion from yesterday that we met with Hank.
Oh shit. I knew I forgot something. Well, I wasn't supposed to be there anyway. Irene, that's why I forgot who you were talking about because you used the wrong name. Irene, we're using different names, not them. I thought I was the thick one. Sorry.
I love it. A little salt to go with the ghost rock.
Yes.
So yeah, we can just go in the back after he gets here, and then have a plan then. But I smell like drunken asshole, so I need to have a soak. But not with this on. And I take off the pound and 3/4 of death rock that I've got in my backpack, and very carefully put it in a dry place. He said something about a creek, didn't he?
No,
No.
there's no water
guess-
by it. You've got to
Yeah.
use.
Okay.
Did I see anything that might work when I was out looking at scrap?
No, that's okay. I learned a thing from some dogs I knew. And I go and find a place in the dirt and actually start doing the dirt bath, rolling around, grinding. Yeah.
There are places that you could technically take a bath, but the likelihood of you coming out dirtier and possibly
Yeah.
more poisoned
Yeah.
than you went in is pretty high.
No, we'll just scour in the dirt. We're good.
I mean, it still helps with the smell.
Yep.
Irene, you've been, as I recall, keeping an eye in town, just kind of keeping an eye, especially on the Gold Strike, to see if you can tell when John has arrived.
Yep.
John has not arrived yet that you know of, but being that you're one of the more upstanding citizens, which would probably be downgraded if they knew who you're hanging out with, But one of the more upstanding citizens, word gets to you pretty quickly of a death, a very strange death that's being blamed on Chupacabra.
Huh.
Even though it's not a goat, it's actually a young acolyte from the church near the edge of town. She was found with all of her bodily fluids drained, like all of them. Yesterday she was walking around fine. Today she's kind of, I can't even call it beef jerky because beef jerky has more fluid to it.
Okay. She'll go. Assume she's being held at church or something.
Yeah, yep, they're holding her at the church.
Irene will go down to church and see what's going on.
When you get to the church, the Padre Mickelson looks pretty grieving and very angry, very angry. He's generally known as a fairly even-tempered man, older gentleman, a little bit of salt and pepper, right around the ears and temple area, but otherwise a pretty vivid dark hair for his age. Lined face, very tan. He is berating the sheriff when you show up. And the sheriff doesn't look like he really gives much of a crap at all, which is kind of a par for the course for the sheriff, because she's not from a family that has money. She's not a big spender. She mostly just was a nice young woman who kept to the church, was thinking about, going to a convent, actually becoming a nun, the whole thing. Only 19 years old, just, a little old for the Wild West, for that sort of thing. But she found her calling and was, by all reports, a very devout and caring young woman. And the sheriff is just standing there. He's a little heavy set. He's got really big, thick, gray mutton chops. He's not actually all that old, just for whatever reason, just hair down to here, just very gray, no mustache or beard, kind of a florid face. Definitely looks like somebody who lives it up, and probably more than he should be able to based on what a sheriff generally is paid. But once again, kind of par for the course. He's obviously already done with the conversation, but he can't break away because, let's face it, turning your back on an angry and grieving pastor really isn't going to be great when it comes around for election time.
Yeah. Irene will just stand off to the side, wait for pastor to finish, and the sheriff to leave.
All right, and it wraps up pretty soon. The sheriff's just like, look, it looks like a goat sucker. Nobody's taken credit for it. She wasn't robbed. She still had a little bit of money. I don't know what to tell you. I got real crimes to solve. I'll put a deputy on it when I can spare one, and just turns and wanders off. And you could tell there's a sense in the air, like, you've ever seen somebody who really wants to flip somebody else off but can't for one reason or another? It's just not seemly for a priest to just be like, "Grr." But you can feel the desire just rolling off him before he puffs a little breath, and notices you off to the side. He's like, oh, Irene?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes. I heard about your tragedy, and I heard there was some sort of monster. I thought I'd offer my guns if I could. Seeing whatever did this, not do this anymore.
He pauses and looks around. There's some, grieving parishioners as well, kind of around the outside of the small but well-kept church, and he goes, come with me, please. And says, everybody else, if you can just wait out here, we'll hold a viewing as soon as we can. I thank you for your thoughts and prayers. please go be with your families at this difficult time. Opens the door, ushers you in, and then closes it, and pauses for a moment as though listening. And when it seems like everybody else is cleared off, he's like it was a monster. Chupacabra, look, we know they exist. They're kind of rare, but there are no records of them attacking a person, especially not a person in town. Like poor Sandra was. I mean, she sleeps here. We've got a little room set aside for her. She doesn't stay at one of the hotels or flop houses because those would not be a very safe place for a young woman who's considering, going to a convent. They would just not be great places. And no, Bison, the victim's nickname was not Goat.
Was she the goat?
She could have been the goat. With enough time and training, she could have been the goat. Regardless, I don't know what did this, but I don't. It couldn't have been a chupacabra, and I don't see how a monster. There've been no other deaths like this. I don't see why we would have, if there's some new horrible monster in town, we would have seen, like, I hate to say it like this, but some of the less fortunates who sleep in alleys and such be attacked, not, a young woman in a relatively secure location where somebody could have come across whatever took place. So I'm not an investigator. I don't have a lot of money. And I know I'm supposed to say and believe that God will sort it out in time. But in this case, I'm going with the idea that God helps those who help themselves. Or in this case, God helps those who put up what bounty they can for somebody to find what did this and shoot it until it stops moving. And then shoot it some more and set it on fire.
That sounds like something I could do. I don't want anything that can do something like what happened to that girl living in this town if I'm gonna be settling down here.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being here. You've definitely been a high point in the corruption and abuse that we've been trying to work against. Do you want to look at the body? I'm not an investigator of any sort. I don't know what clues you could find, or if you're an investigator, or if there's somebody else you want to take a look at the body. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Where was she found?
She was actually found just behind the church. But I don't know what she would have been doing there last night. There's nothing that goes on back there. We've got even the cemeteries outside of town limits.
Well, I'll take a look back there and see if I see any tracks or anything.
Okay. Well then, do you have... Well, actually, are you finished with the priest, or did you have anything else before you want to go check?
I think I'm done with him.
Okay. Then he's going to go prepare the body. When you go outside, do you have tracking, survival, something like that?
1 sec. I don't actually have my sheet up.
That's fine. I don't have any of your sheets up. I'm just kind of trusting you to tell me that you're rolling the right thing. Because if I can't trust you, why are you even in? Why is somebody even in the group?
I got notice.
And now there's sheet everywhere. Yeah.
Yep. We'll give a notice at +1.
All right. 1 die.
One die in the D6.
Oh.
Whatever your notice is in the D6.
Yeah. Both 4s.
Okay. Well, then there's been some activity around the area since the body was discovered. Obviously, there's not a lot of, and in this day and age, there's not a lot of forensic forensic approaches to things. Nobody's really putting up a do not cross tape or anything.
But the monster has to have come from somewhere and gone to somewhere, so...
That is correct. And the only set of prints that seem to come from and move away from the scene in a way that doesn't seem like it's heading right back into town or coming from somewhere very nearby, like one of the other buildings and circling around from the front of the church to the back, is a pair of boot prints, or a set of boot prints, just heading off back into the desert.
Irene will make a note of what size those boots are and follow them for a bit, see if she can figure out where they're going. But if it's more than about 10 minutes, she'll turn back and go back and ask the priest if there's anything out that direction.
It's not even 10 minutes. It's more like 3 or 4 minutes before the prints just stop. Like entirely cut off, and there's no horse prints or anything else. They just sort of stop.
On rock, or?
No, not even on rock. Like there's still dirt all around it and such. There's just all of a sudden it's like they took a step and just weren't there anymore. Whether they flew or something else, they just not there.
I forget. Was Irene told about Hank's teleportation trick?
Not in any detail. All Irene got at the time was that Honest John had shadow tricks he could do, and that the shadow was stolen from Hank. She did not get to witness firsthand any of the shadow nanigans that Honest John got up to.
And she didn't get to hear any tale of how Amanda got out of her fix at the start of last session.
I think she did hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amanda said something.
Yeah, because Moses brought it up. Our good friend Mo Lester brought it up. He's never going to get to live that down. But Moses brought it up saying, how did she get here before the telegraph even arrived? And, Hank mentioned that he used one of the few remaining tricks he had to him to get her here, to unite her with everybody as quickly as possible.
So, she's gonna be assuming something like that happened. She'll make a mental note of that, and for next time the gang makes contact, and and head back into town. And I guess she will go ask the priest about what's off in that direction.
Nothing. If you go far enough, you might hit a mine, but that's not one of the directions anybody really comes into town on. Most people either take the rail or they follow one of the roads because you're, at least slightly more likely to make it without issue than if you're traveling the Badlands. So.
Well, I think Irene will just make plans to hang around the church a little bit around nightfall, see if she can spot anything going on, and hopefully head off any repeat incidents.
Okay. Well, while you are doing that, back out at the mine, the distillery is all put together. Bang has had his dirt nap. A dirt bath, I suppose. Maybe a nap afterwards. Kind of depends on how comfortable he's feeling at the time.
I kind of imagine like a giant sparrow when you see them doing the little dust baths. But almost 6 feet tall.
Little dirt angel.
He is.
Right there in the
yes,
turf.
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, some absolutely filthy, dark gray dirt angels for sure. Yeah. Bang is secretly a chinchilla. No, because Bang has had a thought. I've met chinchillas. They're cute, but anyway, what are you guys doing? Yeah, what is the plan? What are you making?
I'll be honest. I forgot about grain being required for the whole whiskey. But at the very least, I do have these berries that I've been told is sweet, even though they're a little on the dry side.
Yeah, you can use anything organic.
Oh man, need to put them in water, get them to swell up, crush them down, and then make them hopefully into something that we can try to get into our John fella friend.
So you're going to get him drunk?
Or whatever in the world happens when these things interact with Death Rock.
Oh shit! You're putting that in there. Okay. We don't know if that affects him though, because he's already dead. It is so hard not to go dead. Like.
Well,
Samuel's trying to come out far too hard.
Oh, Sam and
Yep.
the original inspiration, Abe Simpson. Yeah.
he still has to have some amount of body. He's moving around, so I can't imagine all. You keep calling him dead,
I guess
which
he
I'm sure
probably
makes sense from some perspective.
he probably still melts though. That other guy melted really bad, like all over the street. You just gotta
So-
stare lost in the memory.
Did you find any animals out when you were taking your dust bath or no?
I did. My horse.
Okay. Oh, that's alive, and we need to get that back to town.
But I'm riding it. Well, not right now, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We also have a cart with the horses that we do need to get back to Hank. So maybe I keep working on the preparing for the wine, and the two of you head back to town and check in with Irene.
So you're going to melt the shit out of him. And if that doesn't work, what are you going to do? Probably something without a label.
Joke will never.
It's never going to get. Never. Never, 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 never.
It's
Um,
honestly one of my favorite quirks from any
Yep.
game. Just
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, hopefully, whatever he makes, I can sell.
To the fancy establishment.
We're going to poison the whole bar?
I mean, it's for their most special customers, such as a certain John fella.
What are you going to put it in? It eats everything.
That's why we have at least, hopefully, 4 or 5 batches to figure out what it's not going to eat through.
Just gotta test some few things before we start to bottle.
So I know you're also looking for pressure vessels yourself, Mr. Miner. So perhaps when you're in town, you could look around to see what you got for options.
I was just going to get a whole bunch of canteens and pretend I
we
was
still need
really
to go get
thirsty.
canteens.
Because, I mean, the old one, the old rock kind of, you had to do a thing, and you had to put another thing in, and the things all had to balance, and then it went boom, and it put stuff everywhere at very high speeds. But this is different. This just oozes out. So I have to kind of think different. I'm not changing my name to Ooze.
Well, if you have to die again, you might.
If I have to die again, you can call me whatever you want.
Just not ooze.
I won't be able to hear it, so I don't care. I'll be dead.
That's fair. Speaking of hearing, that stupid tuning fork. Any ideas?
A little bit of mud?
What if we just melt the tuning fork?
It's easier to just put a finger in the middle. Or something.
Yeah, fair. Keep it from vibrating.
You
Might work.
just gotta squeeze it, right? But the problem is, the second he hits that thing and touches it was it when he hit it or when he touched it to his heart, we all stopped moving.
I think he had to hit the train first. There were definitely 2 impacts.
Yeah, because he rang it and then touched the crystal heart, right?
correct.
Okay, and it wasn't until he touched the
He
heart.
started it, and then he touched the heart, and then there was the boom, and the full body pins and needles.
Right.
So, I mean, the other option is, I mean, do you recall if the sensation was starting in your ear or where it really started? Because if we can just not hear the sound, maybe it just won't have an effect.
Y'all experienced it. I didn't.
I mean, you just don't know a thing or two about sound.
I'd just
True.
as soon kill that prick before he ever had a chance to get out of his pocket.
So we detonate the ghost rock in his chest.
I kind of want that one, but I got about 1.75 pounds of death rock we can use to melt him into ooze. We'll call him Ooze. That'll be his name, not mine.
But we still got to get at him.
Get to him.
We got to get to him, and we got to get him separated from his people. But
Well,
first,
we're going to learn anything out here.
we got to wait, because we don't have any real information. We don't know when he's coming. We don't know how many people are coming with him. And I know
admittedly,
I'm not my best after 3 or 4 days on a bender, so maybe we just watch for a little while. And
Man, he's
don't
gonna show
blow
up in town.
anything up at all.
I don't believe that we might. I don't think we'll have to wait all that long if he's going truly full out.
So just wait till he's shit-faced the first time. Okay. I hate waiting. I was just trying to be an adult. I'm not very good at it.
I mean, see what you can find out in town.
Already did. You can sneak into town real easy. Nobody caught me and look at me. And then you can go around the back of the Gold Strike, and all you got to do is walk up and knock on the door. And I saw that they're so stupid, they just look like a little porthole. So if you put boxes in front of your face and walk up, they can't see you. You say, hey, open the door. They open the door. You shoot them all. There's only 3 of them, 1 outside and 2 inside. And then we can do whatever the fuck we want because we'll be in the kitchen.
And we have to make sure that the people, including John, don't realize that something went wrong in the kitchen.
So we need a little accident that isn't going to make stink steam out of everything. Maybe just a little fire in the kitchen. That happens all the time. They just chase
Maybe a
people out in
ghost
the
truck.
street.
Little ghost rock under a burner, screams up the kitchen real nice.
Oh, then it sounds like somebody's dying.
And that might get everybody running.
Get them all out of the building. And then once they're outside, we figure out how to separate John from the rest. Oh, you know what John doesn't want? Us to tell anybody what happened. So once we're outside, from a block or so away, we peek out and go, hey, John. And he's going to want to kill us. He comes
Pretty
around the
right
corner, we
quick.
melt him, and then we're done.
And then we were the infamous legends that killed Honest John.
That's just a bonus.
No, we'd never be able to be seen again, which ain't great for business.
It's Tombstone.
Tombstone has a telegraph.
Yeah, but everybody's crazy in Tombstone. It's not even going to show up on the crazy people list. Shit like this happens all the time around here. Oh, shit, speaking of Tombstone, we still got one of us in there.
This is true.
Why, yes, we do.
How long is it going to be till that liquor's ready?
Could be a while.
Okay. Well,
All
you
right.
guys got to do experiments anyway to figure out what it doesn't burn through.
Well, we need stuff that it may not burn through, so that's why I'm thinking you and my sister can head to town. Go meet up with our person on the inside.
See what
See if
they've
anything's going on there.
learned. Yeah.
And I got some berries to crush.
Okay. Was there a blanket inside or something?
Do you want to take Moses into town, which might be a little better than him out here in the hot? Dealing
Why?
with the
What
scorpion
happened
from
to
this
him?
morning?
I
Yeah,
think,
scorpion in the boot.
I think
The
you
usual.
might should just stay out here.
Somewhere safe? Gotcha.
I mean, I see lots of people bit by scorpions. They didn't have to be taken it. What happened?
Oh, sorry, the purple. Purple is an attempt to find an antidote.
I just grabbed the wrong bottle.
Oh, I get it. Okay, that's all you had to
Oh
say.
yeah, no, his face is like Beard's purple, but not his face. He's not
It's
asphyxiating.
TLDR. Amanda did it again. Yeah, okay. There's a snake in my boot.
No, remember, the first time it was Elizabeth that did it. This is brand new for
Yeah.
Amanda.
Yes. Okay, so I just need a blanket to hide under.
Wait, we have a covered wagon, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that works too. I only had a
If you
horse.
just-
I mean, but we have 3 horses to get back to town.
It's okay, this one likes me.
Well, I mean, if
I
3
guess it would
horses
make more
are...
sense to leave 1 horse for me in case something happens.
Yeah, I think so. In case you need to run.
I mean,
Okay,
hides
but-
more my sort, but you know.
Don't melt the horse.
I'm not gonna mount the horse. It's Hank's horse.
I don't think we're gonna be melting
I'm
any.
also gonna be really concerned if he just shows up behind me out of nowhere, but you know, that's
Mhm.
a future problem.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we should go then. What time of the day is it?
It's getting
Exactly.
on in the
Get out
day.
here, so yeah.
It's well past noon, probably getting on towards early evening.
So by the time we get back into town, it'll be dark. That'll be good.
A lot of
Return.
places will still be open because it's Tombstone, of course.
Tombstone after dark.
No, that's a different stream. Different stream entirely. I mean, unless y'all really want to make it that stream, but I don't think that's where we're going here.
Where's the?
I don't have
where's
that in the content warning. Yeah, I don't
Where's
have
the
it.
content warning?
Yeah, we're not going there, but the
We're not-
content
we don't
does
need it
warning.
right now,
The
it's
content
fine.
warning should probably come up for now, just right now for the very last part, the and bang. So yeah, there we go. The regular one. Oh, I did the regular one, and you did the specific one. There we go. All right. So
All right.
All right then. She'll turn around one last time. Don't blow yourself up.
I'll attempt to avoid the outcome as best I can.
All right then.
Outstanding. Well, then, y'all load into the wagon. Gonna leave Alexander to his weird, intoxicant experimentation. See how that goes. And, right. Time passes. Of course, some travelers pass you coming and going to Tombstone, but none of them see when you actually get on the road. So, for the most part, and there are all sorts of little turnoffs and wannabe camps and things leading up to Tombstone. So you just sort of blend into I can't call it traffic because there's not that much, but
Yeah.
there's still enough movement that you get back to town. I was going to ask if any of you knew where Irene lived, but Amanda was taken there by Hank. Remember?
Oh,
And-
okay, yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Led
it's
you
just
up there
that
to-
dark. Irene not there.
Well, that's a different problem, but you can find the door.
Yeah.
Just fine.
They don't appear to be home. You wanna? I can show you the back of the gold strike if you like.
All right, let's see if we can get back there and not get caught.
I'm staying in the back, so it's just like the voice coming out of the covered wagon. That's all you get. You don't get to see Bang at all.
She'll keep looking forward and just acting like
Yeah.
not talking to anybody.
And yeah, just go real slow on the way by. See, there's the cargo doors, and then the small door to the side with the little hatchy flappy thing on it. And there's only that one idiot-looking guard outside. There's 2 more inside.
All right then.
It's a different idiot-looking guard, but
Nice.
still only one.
They have shifts of idiots.
So meaning we might be able to lead one away, and not have to be too loud.
Yeah, or thump them or whatever, and then there's only 2 more inside. Or we just fool them.
That works too.
That's probably going to have to be the 3 of you, though, because I'm not very fooly. I'm more explodey.
Or Uzi, as of recently.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be an interesting name for a gun. Anyway, we should keep going.
I mean,
Um,
or bullets. I
Yeah.
mean, blood is mostly water.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oof.
Um,
I did. Now that you mentioned it, now you just reminded me. I did grind the. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I got 6 bullets in my shitty little pistol covered in ghost rock or death rock. Yeah. Oops. Thanks for the reminder.
um, should I one last time, like while they're headed out of town, to check if Irene's there?
So are you stopping like at a general store to get stuff to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Were you trying to drop the wagon off, or were you
I-
hoping probably keeping the wagon? Because how else are you going to get all the stuff you're buying
True.
back to?
Yeah, we'll have to. Bring
Hank
it back
wanders
later.
by just out of nowhere while you're riding. He's like, "Y'all, you seem like you could use the cart and horses for a little while. Please do not harm my horses."
That is the last thing we're gonna do.
Your horse is just back at the place. It's fine. It really
Yes.
likes me.
There's no accounting for taste even with horses.
He's looking friendly, but he doesn't know what to say.
That aside,
We should
there.
slip a note under the door before we go, maybe.
Hold that thought. Irene, where
Yes.
would Irene actually normally be around the evening in Tombstone?
Well, given what she found out during the day, she's hanging out near the church, keeping an eye out for the return of that monster, whatever it was.
Alrighty. Perfect, thank you. Hank will just stop and, as he's turning to go, stop and be like, "Oh, and Miss Little is over by the church. It seems that there was a happenstance that may be of interest."
Well, thank you for that.
Then he'll just, oh, and don't forget to possibly also buy grain.
That was already on the list.
And then he turns and just meanders off. No cares in the world, no rush. Yes, Hank
Yes.
Ex Machina.
Yes, you gotta have one. Every campaign
Yeah.
needs an NPC for when they start to wander.
Y'all are scattered. Come on. It's got a sheepdog. Oh,
Yeah, the party's not split enough yet.
Oh, it's no fun till there's 4-person party split in 4 different places doing 4 different things at the same time. That is GM heaven. It's just
Amanda will keep looking forward. If you don't want to go by the church, I will by myself. It might.
Why wouldn't I go by a church?
Well,
I mean, I
Not
can't
quite.
afford one, but I assumed you meant the other kind of buy, like just go near one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to burst into flames, you know. That's a myth. And I think that's slightly offensive.
well, wasn't sure. And she'll get the horses back going by the church.
You hear cutting and ripping sound in the back, and because I got a blanket, right? I've cut a hole in it and I put it over myself now because I'm going to show. So now I'm trying to look like a monk. I got the bald head, so I just take off my glasses and I just got this blanket draped over me instead of a cassock.
and get out. Jesu Domine.
Yeah. Domine ex requiem. No, wrong movie. Sorry, wrong movie.
Oh,
But yeah,
well,
I mean, it's going to be almost that bad. You got the old elbows out, 90-degree hands, praying thing. Just, yeah.
this will be great. But as you approach the church, as the only one, give me a notice roll. Bang.
Okay.
Just bang.
I notice. I can notice stuff. What do I notice? Oh, not that much. 3. I notice nothing.
Yeah, nope, nothing's wrong here whatsoever.
Quando omni fluncus moritati. Yeah, I see nothing.
Oh, Irene, you notice Amanda rolling up on a cart, with some horses.
And anything else?
Nothing that you've seen. No, there haven't been any strange smells or growls or anything really out of the ordinary. The Padre went out to kind of splash a little holy water over the area. Not sure it's going to do any good, but it's doing something. And grief manifests a number of ways.
Alright, she'll tip her hat to Amanda, so, greeting.
Well, hello there,
What's
Amanda.
up?
I heard that there was a bit of an incident.
Yeah, the local girl who's gonna take vows was found behind the church yesterday and dawn today, and apparently last night she was something sucked all the fluids out of her. She's drying a piece of jerky. I found tracks of someone who might have done it, but they went off into the desert, nothing out that way, and after a couple minutes they just up and disappeared. I'm like,
Trying to keep the ruse going. Father, do you think you could possibly look at this?
Father, at your service. I'm coming right away. Like doing but I don't know when to stop, so I just keep going. I'm coming. What is it that you need, my daughter? He doesn't know that at all, right?
Child, it's
Child, that's it. That one sounded creepy. I better do one of those, just in case. What did you find? I really hope no one is offended by his failure to understand. I never thought to put that in the content warning, but it did warn against bang, so...
Ari just looking at him and trying to comprehend what she's looking at.
Don't try to understand it. I've learned that.
Well, didn't you mention Hank has some sort of teleportation trick? You can be just one place and then suddenly somewhere else?
Yes, you can.
That makes him a demon. He's totally bought into it. Nice.
I think whatever killed that poor girl last night had some similar powers. How much do we know about this Hank?
I don't think it would have been Hank. Did you get a look at the body?
Yeah, it was dried up, drier than a piece of jerky. Been sitting in the sun all day.
Did it have a shadow?
Did it have a shadow?
Give me a retroactive notice roll.
2 and a 4.
The 4 will be just enough. It was a little hard to tell, given that they had the body inside at that point by the time you got involved, but it did seem like no shadow was appearing under it, even when it was kind of laid out in state and being examined.
Now you mention it, I don't think that was a shadow.
That's our common friend there.
Yeah.
Then
You said you tracked it. What did the tracks look like?
Boots. Just plain old boots. About normal man size, right?
Oh yeah, normal size. Not too big, not too small. Just
About
average adult.
What
Looks
what
like-
the hell wears boots and sucks out all your juices?
My guess is that's what taking someone's shadow looks like. Remember, Hank said you had to do something pretty nasty to keep that thing of his working.
Oh shit. Hank doesn't have that shadow. Hank doesn't need to feed that shadow, for fuck's sake. Guess who's here? Honest John. He's the one that needs to feed that shadow.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't shown up in town officially yet, though.
I bet he was just tired after his long trip. He needed a snack. I'll bet
Or
Harold
he's-
looked like crap.
My question is, do you think if he's already here, he's gonna need it again? Maybe, I mean just maybe, we may be able to bring him out early
We just need
before
a
he goes on
nun
his
to,
bender.
we just need a nun to tie in the churchyard. I mean, it
You
worked
know,
once.
Well, I wouldn't say a
I can
nun.
see that look on your faces. I've done it again, haven't I?
I just see a willing volunteer right here, already in robes.
Oh, shit.
I was just gonna say instead, if he rather go after a woman, maybe I can stay.
I think as
You're
long
known
as
around-
it's got a shadow.
It was kind of odd. He went for a woman at the church who ain't normally back there instead of, some sort of wino who sleeps in an alley behind a gold strike.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. On task. On topic. Oh, this is difficult. I want to say so many things. You're right, though. He lured them out there. So how do you be bait and let yourself be lured at the same time?
My thought is if Miss Irene here will spot me, I can be walking down the street here when it's later. He'll try and get my attention, and at that point, we got him.
Doesn't he already know your face?
He does, and looks back at the cart. I mean, I got plenty of blankets.
Might work. Maybe you got some sort of concoction to change your appearance?
I can absolutely change my hair.
This all
Is
works
that
great as long as he needs to feed again, but if all he needed was one little top up, then the party starts pretty soon. So I like the plan, but we gotta be ready to switch at a moment's notice.
Exactly. So I'm thinking this has to be tonight. Father, if you could please take the carriage back into town, or back to the camp.
Oh shit, that's me. Yes. I will absolutely take the cart straight back to the camp.
And inform Mr. Embashorn that plans have changed.
Should he bring what he's got or abandon the experiment?
He does not need to come back. I believe this will be Irene's and my doing, if this works out.
I appreciate that bravery and all. But this ass has been around for a very long time. And besides, he's got something in his chest that I really want. So I'd like to stay and help.
Then you can bring Alexander back.
That's what I was thinking.
And hopefully he has something cooked up.
Well, by now it should at least be flammable.
At the very least.
Okay. Where's that horse?
It's just the carriage is like right there. You just
Oh, shit, right.
Park-
The horse is
just
way
gone
back there. Alex has got my horse. Right. Anybody coming with her, or is it just me?
I was
I mean, we know what happened last time.
What happened last time?
Hi-ho, Silver, away! And I charge off down the street on the horse. With the carriage. So it's like, creak, creak,
Yeah.
creak, creak. I try to, yeah, but it's creak, 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 creak. Takes quite a while to get to the corner. But yeah, I will go out and get Alexander. So
Okay.
He's,
these two are going to
neat.
get killed.
Around that point, just in time to miss Father, the Padre peeks out of the church, having heard the conversation going on out front, but not sure if he should be involved, and says, "Irene, who's your friend? Is she here to help?"
Yeah. She's gonna help me, see if we can, lure out whatever and kill that poor girl. And hopefully, put an end to it.
The Padre clasps, or at least attempts to clasp, Amanda's hands in his, holding a
She'll-
rosary,
she'll let him.
and he'll kind of drape the rosary over her hands, and he's like, "Just bless you. Bless you for helping. This cannot stand."
I
The-
agree, Father.
Please let me know when this is all finished, or if there's anything else I could do to help.
Do you possibly have like a change of clothes I could borrow?
I think so. It won't be finery, but we've always got things in the donation bins.
It does not need to be finery, sir.
Okay, well then, yes, please come on in.
And she'll get an outfit from there.
Okay, and yeah, there's some dresses, kind of threadbare, but clean and well mended. Something you can give out to somebody down on their luck that might just be enough to land them that job they need or whatnot. So he'll store your actual clothes somewhere safe, away from the donation bins, just in case. And then just let you back out, close the door, obviously lock it for now. He's like, just knock at any time. I'll let you back in to get your clothes and whatever else you need. If you need a place to sleep tonight, either of you, it won't be amazingly comfortable, but I've got some cots I can set up.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right. Next thing we need to do is find you a vantage point to watch from.
There any, bell towers or watchtowers in town?
Not really. There's not even actually like a big clock yet. They're constructing one, but you would actually be better served just getting up, if you can find somebody who'll let you do it, or if you can sneak around it yourself, getting up on top of one of the saloons or inns or general stores. Anywhere would give you a pretty good vantage of the street, given that it's constructed as pretty much one big thoroughfare. There's Main Street and then some branches off.
She'll pick
In my head, there's nothing more than sort of two stories.
one of the
Thank
buildings.
you.
In my head, there's nothing more than sort of 2 stories tall, right? That's
Yeah,
is that
yeah,
about right? Yeah.
You're not looking for.
When you've
Well,
got
the Gold
infinite
Strike is
space.
three stories.
Yeah.
But you know, you've
Yeah,
got to be
when
taller
you're in
than
infinite
everybody
space,
else.
you don't need to go up. So, yeah.
And Iron will pick a place in the middle of the street, and I assume it would be athletics to just climb out the outside.
That would work, yeah.
So the church just have a bell tower then.
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
The church doesn't have a bell tower.
No, it's a very,
Okay.
very simple church. He goes out, he's got a handbell that he just ding, 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 ding. It's the best we've got. And I can't really call it a fire station exactly, but the station where they keep all the buckets and whatnot for fires. It's got like one of the big bells out front, like ones that you can ring, but
Mm-hmm.
That's a 6 on the D10 for athletics.
that'll do it. It's once again, it's a little touch and go at times, but without a lot of effort, you make it up on top of your chosen establishment to keep a watch over the street. And Elizabeth is going to go wandering. I'm sorry, Amanda is going to go
Yes.
wandering. Yes.
Yeah, Amanda's just gonna kind of wander down the street and do a bit of window shopping.
Window shopping. Yep. It's getting on towards evening. The parties are really starting to kick up. And of course, being an unescorted woman in the Wild West, in Tombstone, outside, window shopping, it is not very long before the first drunken idiot shows up and makes a pass. Hey, your party. Want to breed?
And out of her, I really hope I can do this. If I have to roll for it, I will. She probably has like a fake ring or something, like on her all times, to be like, "I'm sorry, sir, I'm married."
He doesn't have to know. We'll make it
Oh,
quick, I promise.
Trust me, he'll know. And if he gets any closer, she'll pop one of her bottles that she normally has on her, so she knows what this one is. One of the few ones she actually would know, and effectively just be like, drop a little bit on his shoe so it burns.
Okay, yeah, she's got to burn his shoe.
Yeah.
Definitely, because he's like, no, come on, really, it's okay. I'm more a man than he. Ah, get my foot! Starts hopping around and pretty quickly loses interest because, you know, burning toes.
Mm-hmm.
He's also, of course, not the only one, and not all of them are drunk, but some of them you see do notice the ring and are like, oh, okay, somebody else's. Some of them not so much. Most of them, though, thankfully, you don't have to use much of the toe mace
Yeah.
that's been developed.
I never thought we'd have to use the content warning for chat.
And I sent
That
you a
was a
little
bad pun.
message
That has to
over
go in
Zoom.
here, yeah.
There's some bearing on the situation.
I was not expecting to put up the content warning for a pun chat made, but okay. Yeah.
Look, we're equal opportunity when
Yes,
it comes
that's
to
right,
puns
yes.
here. That's
Yep.
okay. After a while, you do feel eyes on you,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody approaches you. And I'm not talking the "he's hot" kind of eyes, but like actually something more predatory. Irene, while you're up there, give me one of those good old tasty notice rolls with a +1 since you're like really.
With a +1, that's a 3.
You
are
have
way
chips. You have chips.
You do have chips.
Chips.
Yeah.
Use your chips.
Oh, okay, so what do I do with those?
So a white chip gets you a reroll. You take the higher of the two. A red chip, you can roll a d6 and add it, but the GM gets a chip that he can use later. And a blue chip, you can roll and add a d6 without them getting anything later.
Well,
And they roll over at the start of every session, so you might as well use them. Or
I might as well use that blue chip I rolled.
there you go.
All right,
Roll a
there you go.
d6 and add it.
That's a 6.
So that
Well,
explodes, right?
Yep, roll it again.
3.
So
Okay,
9
so-
plus the original 3.
3. Yep,
Yeah.
so
So
12. Yeah, 4 successes.
Four-
Or sorry, 3
three
successes.
Yeah.
I math
is
good.
fun.
Look, I have machines that do all my math for me. It's been
I,
a
on
long
the other
day.
hand, am old. So, yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. You notice that on the opposite side of the street from you, like moving, it seems, behind the buildings, there's someone who seems to be keeping pace with Amanda. Given that the gloom is falling and that they're trying very hard to stay casually unnoticed, you can't make out a lot of discerning features other than they look like they're dressed a little nicer than you would expect, you know, of a miner or a cowhand or or the like. You can't make out a face, you can't make out all of what they're wearing, but whoever they are, they're in a nice suit with boots that from this distance, I mean, they could be the right boots. Could be maybe the same boots. You don't know. You'd have to get over there and really look at his feet. Know for certain, but somebody is definitely keeping pace for a while before they seem to peel off. Maybe they're thinking better of it. Can't really tell why they peel off. Just all of a sudden, you know, from one building to the next, they don't. You can't see them through the alley or anything. They're just suddenly gone again.
I'll keep watching for a bit, and if it's clear they're just completely gone, she'll scramble down and go check out the boot prints.
It's clear they're pretty completely gone after a while. You know, Amanda gets towards more sort of, I don't know if law-abiding section of town is necessarily the right term, but at least a part of the town that's a little more well patrolled. You know, it's where some of the nicer shops and things are, so they don't want riffraff harassing anyone. But then again, Amanda's not exactly dressed like she belongs either, so she's given more of the, she gonna steal something? One of them poor people coming over here gonna steal something. Looks not overtly hostile, but definitely
Yeah, they're watching.
they're watching. When you get down over to the boot prints, they look about the same. They definitely look like they're either entirely the same or at least close enough. I mean, it's boot prints and dust. There's only so much you can do with that. It's not like a great, you know, mud imprint or something.
And she'll probably check both. Hate to bring a song to this, but where they came from, where they're gonna go, or where they disappeared at.
It's in my head now, but yeah. Once again, you can't really see where as with the last time, it seems like they just sort of start from behind one building, but it's not a building that actually has a back door that looks like it gets used very often. It's a tailor shop. Not one of the nicer ones though. It's more the, you know, catering to miners' wives and cattle hands' wives and, you know, that sort of folks. And they vanish just as, once again, just there's some steps behind the last building you saw them go behind, and then there's nobody there. There's no more prints. It doesn't even look like the steps actually get all the way up to the back door on that building either.
And it doesn't look like they jumped the gap or anything.
Not that you can tell. You know, it's, you know, maybe they went up the back of the building like you did or something. It's hard to say, but there's no obvious clue where they went after the print stop.
When she heads into the more fancier area, she'll turn around and kind of just say, I know where I'm not wanted, thank you. And just turn back.
Well, good. And since you're, being respectful mostly and heading the right way, nobody else bothers you. Of course, heading back unless Irene decides to accompany. There's a little more of the same, but not as much. It seems like possibly the a couple melted toes has started to kind of get around.
Mm.
That maybe this one isn't really worth messing with. So it's a somewhat more sedate walk, but there's always one or two who are too drunk or hadn't heard the story or whatnot who will make some passes, very crude passes, one or two of which seem anatomically impossible, but hope springs eternal.
Yeah.
And about the time you're turning around, Bang and Alexander get back to town.
Okay, I just want to do a little bit of narration on the trip there and back, if I may.
No, it's my
Okay.
story. No,
Fuck.
just go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
For the first half of the trip out there, it's just this constant, like he's just stressed right out and it's like, go get Alexander, go back and save Amanda. Go get Alexander, go back and save Amanda. Go get Alexander, go back and save Amanda. Shit. And then in a moment where he really accepts that it's the ghost rock he's into and not anything else, he just takes out a little tiny piece of actual ghost rock, lights it on fire, and just... Okay, get Alexander and save Amanda, and just crank up the horses and go get him. And then when I skid to a stop, it's like, bring the alcohol, and your sister's gonna die. We need to go now.
Hi, Ramp. Help me get this on the back and we're off.
Okay, can we drink it? Is it bad?
I wouldn't. God's only know what it does.
Okay, so what you're
what
saying
are you
is
transporting
after.
it in is
Yeah.
the important first question.
What's it in right now?
If we have enough time, I'd love to just get it in a barrel.
Depends on how much time Bang will give you at that point, but and he
It is
came
one
back
of
with-
those as fast as we can put it in. So some probably splashed, done interesting things to the ground that we're not. I'm sure it's like that's not a right now issue.
Give me an agility roll since you're trying to pour it hastily and not get it on yourselves. You don't exactly have a great receptacle to or a giant funnel for any of this.
I mean, I was thinking we were just using the spout at the end, but that's fair.
Okay,
I will
I'll let
still
you have
give
the
you that
spout.
agility.
No, it's all right. You can
Go
have
ahead.
the spout this time. But what I do need from Bang on the way back, do you have writing? Anything that would actually let
nope.
you?
Nope.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so, give me. This is one of your good stats, so yeah, you still got a pretty decent chance of it. But give me an agility roll at -1.
Okay.
Since you're going back with Alexander, and you've got the stuff, and you're a little stressed, and you just took a hit.
What do we got down here? Come on. Crap, I only got a red chip. Okay, that's a 2. I'm burning a red chip, so you get 1. Ooh, but it exploded. 11, 13.
All right, so
But
you
you get
don't.
a chip, so.
I do get a chip. I've definitely got that chip. Somehow, Alexander, it's actually a smoother ride than the one that you took out there in the cart originally. Whether it is just the hit that calmed his nerves, or the focus, or
The fact that
just
he's going dun, 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 dun,
could
all the
be
way back
that,
into town.
his song has appeased the spirits. It's really hard to tell, but it's a very just smooth ride there with your half barrel of mystery moonshine. And when you get back to town,
I sure hope she's not dead.
If it seems smooth enough, I'm going to start trying to bottle it in the small bottles so we can at least get the methanol off.
all right, for that's the one that I
Yeah,
want
no,
the
I'm
agility
definitely
because
giving
you're
you.
trained.
What are you doing?
Well, we don't exactly have much time. You're doing a great job with the cart.
Oh, just pull it in the middle of town, light the whole fucking thing on fire. We gotta save your sister.
I know.
I know
what do you
she's your
want for
sister, and you
the-
probably don't like her very much.
Agility plus or minus.
You know what? Let's go -1. This is like you're working with an unknown substance. You're trying to be careful, and the ride is pretty smooth. But you've also never tried to bottle unknown fluids in the back of a cart.
You have
We rolled a
chips.
4.
You have chips.
Okay, no, a 4
Chips.
will.
I will happily take what a 4 will give me as much.
Okay. Just
Oh wait,
one.
no, actually, that is with the
That is with the
-1.
-1. Yeah.
Okay,
It rolled a
perfect. Yeah,
5.
5. So with the -1. All right, so 4. So once again, it's not as smooth as could be, and 1 or 2 drops seem to have done something very strange to the floorboards that they touch. As in, it seems to sort of calcify in spots.
I could turn Ghost Rock into potentially inert Ghost Rock with this. That's not a now problem or question. That's a later problem.
Yes,
Or
but
you're
remember,
slowly
it's
turning
not
the
the-
card into Death Rock. One of the two. Either way.
Yeah.
We'll
Although
find
it
out
doesn't
when it
seem
rains.
like it's actually death rock. It's more
Yeah.
like that part of the wood
Still-
fossilized.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
have you ever
Yeah.
seen like fossilized wood from Arizona, other places?
Okay, so I can turn Honest John into the fossil I want him to be. That's good to know.
Potentially.
There is a theory that those buttes behind you are in fact the fossilized stumps of giant trees. And I mean, like in IRL theory that some people actually believe. But never mind.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there used to be 2-mile tall trees in Arizona. Yep. Anyway,
Love it. So and as you're like desperately pulling into town and people are kind of getting out of the way and shaking fists because I don't really think Bang would worry much about traffic safety laws. Not that many people.
don't worry, we're just extremely drunk. God bless you. Because I still got the fake cassock on.
Making the communion wine and you have the robes on. Great.
Yeah, yeah. Just getting the communion wine to the church. Gotta go. Thank you. Out of the way. On God's work. Coming through.
Yeah. One guy you wander past, like, what? They can get drunk? Maybe I should be a priest. That's awesome. You go
It's
party
pretty
with the
good. You
Reverend
get your own
later.
blanket and everything.
But as you pull up
I can't
into
help myself.
town, desperately, like, oh God, oh God, oh God,
Yeah.
you see Amanda just wandering back towards you, completely not dead,
We did it.
possibly looking a little annoyed and flustered, but not dead.
We did it. And I go to high five Alexander. Like somehow we had something to do with the fact that she's still alive.
Sure. I will high five you with the hand I have.
Oh,
The
good
one
thing I
hand.
didn't do that.
So if you don't mind me asking, which hand did you use for the high five?
I held up my right hand. I had to think. That's so bad. Some stuff I can do. I still have trouble with right and left. So yeah, I had to think. My right hand was up. Yeah, because in my head I was driving on the left side of the cart at the front.
I don't know the exact like high five thing, but he attempts with his left hand to give you a high five and tries not to pull out the cart.
Yeah.
Yep.
20% alcohol and so thick you can chew it. Yes, that is beer. That is a
That
proper
is
beer.
beer. Yep.
Is that
And the
in a glass?
-1
Nope.
honestly came more from trying to do it with the with one arm on top of everything else.
Yep.
It was the really smooth exploding cart ride that saved it from being worse. 5 stars for that Uber rating.
Yeah. So yeah, at absolute in the middle of the town, we screeched to a halt in the middle of no problem at all. Yeah.
5 stars. I could bottle my wine during it.
Yep.
Somebody,
Yeah.
what?
What the hell kind of Uber ride was that?
Okay, here we go, bless the wine. Okay, here we go, bless the wine.
I mean, if you think he's dead, maybe blessing it'll actually do something. I don't know.
I'm acting.
You think he's dead? Well, I'm saying it might just work.
Okay, well, I'll do that. Go talk to your sister. She's dead. Oh, no, she's not dead. We confirmed that.
I mean, she's in the road.
You shouldn't play in the road.
So,
Hey, blessing
we
the
could-
wine.
Maybe we could pull off to the side a little bit.
Okay. Pulling off to the side and blessing the wine.
Irene, you were also witness to this if you were shadowing Amanda, just Bang still in that getup,
Mhm.
just screaming into town.
She's just got her head, face in her hand, and it's like, that's what I've gotten myself into. She's just gonna attempt to walk out without being noticed.
Not my friends.
I mean, the good news, Minor, is you didn't name it. You named it the Holy Spirit.
But
I mean, I rolled my stealth dice, so that's a 6 on a d6.
all right, well then you
Fucking
managed
roll.
to kind of peel off, and you don't have to roll anymore. That
Oh, okay.
you can roll if you want
The six
to,
and
but
a
you
half
don't
is
She's
really.
trying to do
Smooth.
the Batman high buy thing.
Yeah.
Just appear next to them.
Kind of zip away, casually disengage in such a way that nobody really notices, doesn't draw attention, and head back wherever you're going. Everybody else is still curious about the wine in the back of the cart. It's apparently being blessed.
Oh, don't drink it. Don't drink it. If you drink it before I bless it, it's horrible. It'll eat your guts out. Oh, it's
Don't
terrible
hold it on.
stuff. Because I'm assuming a town full of alcoholics is probably trying to steal this wine. It isn't
No.
wine. It smells like whiskey. Yeah.
I mean, there's somebody with the cart, so not so much.
Okay.
If you left it unattended for more than 0.2 seconds,
Yeah.
then yeah, you'd have some strange cases of calcified organs.
Yeah. We don't want to give away the trick. So, yeah. Looks like water, smells like wine. Oh my gosh, it's turpentine. So, yeah,
Well, all
Bang is
right.
occupied. What are you guys doing?
She's just coming back kind of annoyed and like that should have worked. I know somebody was following me.
He was. I saw him. But after a bit, he just disappeared again. Like I went, checked his tracks, just appeared behind one building and disappeared behind another.
Can you show me where?
Sure.
No, first, what possessed you to use yourself as bait?
I know, right? From way down the street. I know, I'm way down the street. I shut up. Yeah.
A girl was murdered over at the church by our certain compatriot who is in town.
Gotcha. So your plan was to put yourself in the way of potentially being the second girl murdered by this person who we are trying to track down.
I didn't think I'd be murdered. I had it under control.
Yes, you had it under control, and so it's that you didn't tell me that you were going off on the
I
town
said-
to.
I sent the father back for you.
Yes, and he told me that you put yourself in danger. And guess what happens? I get everything I can and I come running. And then you seem annoyed that we came to make sure that you weren't killed.
I'm not upset that you're here. I'm upset that it failed.
That you weren't potentially attacked by
I was
somebody who
not
killed
that
somebody
I
last
was.
night. Remember that we are in the middle of town talking about somebody who we potentially killed somebody we're trying to convince to kill again.
She's just gonna start walking off towards where the footprints are. I'm figuring this out.
Jeez. If you need to track somebody down, may as well have me with you. Oh, bloody.
All
What are we
right,
gonna do with
then.
this cart because don't need people drinking this?
Well, go take care of that. I got this.
Yes, and Minor, can you maybe go with her? I'll figure out what I can do with the cart, or if you can help with the cart, and I'll go with her.
I'm way down the street, but
Yeah, he's down the street. He's not.
Father's already gone. Gotcha. Father Minor, gotcha.
Father Minor.
no, those are two words you can't put in the same sentence. That's not no. That's a whole different content warning.
We're not Catholic.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the ropes, but I'll keep that in mind. Okay. So I'll get this somewhere safe. Okay, what direction are these footprints in?
Miss Irene.
Irene will show the way over to him. They look like just the same boots I saw, or boot prints I saw near where the last murder happened.
Okay, so this whole reappearing business seems to be the problem.
Exactly.
And things don't just disappear. So they have to be moving somehow. Because things don't just disappear. As I guess, but I don't understand why everybody's like, oh yeah, no, we just kind of disappears in the shadows. Sure, that's fine. But can somebody actually, try to figure out what might be actually happening to the person who moves through the shadow?
Oh, the only person that's moved through the shadows is down the street blessing wine.
Well, no, just the person who's moved to the shadows is right here.
Oh,
I
Bang,
mean, you said you-
Bang jumped through their shadow hole to get back to their office when we were back in the original town.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, Amanda wasn't shadow jumped.
Yeah.
That was a whole different thing.
Type of magic.
But
But Bang, on the other hand, after he assaulted somebody they were supposed to just kind of be shadowing,
yes,
stole something they weren't supposed to know that the group was after,
Yes.
and then tried to run away with it,
yes,
was grabbed by shadows and dumped back into the office.
yes. Perfect plan, right up to that shadows bit.
All right.
Well, I guess I'm glad you're safe.
Yes.
I appreciate you coming out.
Look, okay, now I gotta go do something with this liquid that is almost indistinguishable from wine, but will kill you if you attempt to ingest it.
You take care of that. I'll figure out this.
Yeah, keep
And I'm
banging.
gonna meet up with you because I happen to be, somebody who can track somebody who ditched a horse and made their way back to town.
What?
Make sure my father doesn't explode it, please.
He was fine last night. He'll be fine again as long as he doesn't run into the, our mark.
Hopefully. And she's just gonna sit there and kind of try and pat this out effectively. And almost using herself again as a lure to get him to come out.
Well, the rest of the night for Amanda and Irene is pretty uneventful if Irene is staying with Amanda.
Sure.
Okay. They don't get that feeling of being watched again the rest of the evening. You don't see anybody more suspicious than usual in the back alleys of, back building areas of Tombstone, though you do get some funny looks as to why you might be out there. But, this time you're at least accompanied by somebody who has some very obvious weaponry on her person and has that sort of air of, I will definitely use these. So you don't have to melt any more toes, which is nice. I mean, one guy does ask for a twosome, and I'm not sure how Irene would handle that. I assume with violence, but that's about it.
Yeah, that might just be a little bit more than 2 toes. That might just be right on the foot itself.
That's fair. That's fair. I promise you, though, no lesson was learned from this.
Just pure annoyance on Amanda, heading back to the cart. This plan was foolproof. I don't understand why it didn't work.
Yeah, Irene also suggests maybe next time you might want to aim a little bit closer to the belt.
I tried to keep myself together.
right. So
Bang, if this is a good time, Bang is actually half diluted, really high, and getting into it. You got a couple bottled, right? Like you got a couple things out of the barrel and into smaller containers before you left, Alexander?
Yeah, these are the things that I was able to get done on the trip over.
Okay. So yeah. I take a couple of those and I'm walking over, still trying, like I got one in each hand, but I'm still doing the thingy as I'm blessing the wine, blessing the wine. And I get to the door and I realize if I go into the church, every drop is coming off that trailer behind me before I could possibly get to the altar and back. So I have to do the thing like with the duck and the goose and the feed. So I have to put the wine down by the door and then go back and get the rest of it and come over and put it by the door and then open the door and just put
the
them
first two
inside the
bottles
door.
are gone before you get back.
Okay,
You put
yeah.
2 on the doorstep.
Yep.
And you turn around to get a couple more off the cart as Alexander heads that way, assuming he was returning to the cart
And they're
after
gone.
being banished. And they're straight gone.
I just put the other 2 back down in the cart. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Oh.
I mean, you can tell it to me straight. They're gone, aren't they?
So what do you think it would look like when somebody fossilized from the inside out?
I mean,
Because you're not going to have to guess by about now.
Yeah, they may not be able to scream. You might hear a thud.
Well, I'm assuming they didn't run very far, so nope, they didn't scream. And I'm kind of looking around, like not really seriously, but kind of looking around to see if I could see any stone people lying in the street.
I mean, ideally, they went really far away before they tried their goods that they made off with.
We'd be
Also, that's
changing our
the not
names
good stuff on
again.
the
Yeah.
bottom. You don't want to drink that to begin with.
I
Yeah,
told
that's
them too. I told them if it wasn't blessed, it would be very bad for them, and they took it anyway.
All right. Actually, yeah. Irene, you notice on the way back to the cart.
Oh no.
You actually stop as you're passing an alley. You hear sort of a strangled wheeze. A very strange sound. You've never heard it before, and an odd sort of crackling, like if you could hear ice forming in fast forward, or like if you've ever heard like out of game, if you've ever heard like ice flows rubbing up against each other, sort of just a very obvious sound that does not belong even in an alley in Tombstone. And
Cringing and afraid to look.
you see just leaning up against the wall, somebody just frozen in rictus holding one of the bottles, an unmarked bottle that does not yet have the label of Holy Spirits because, you know, they didn't have time and, you know, this group doesn't believe in labels.
So it was clearly Amanda's fault.
Oh good, I can blame all 3 of you.
They still seem to be alive, but they don't seem to be able to breathe.
Oh no.
And if you inspect a little closer, you can see like lips and tongue, kind of some of the lower jaw where it dribbled, some had dribbled, and probably further in looks like kind of like flesh-colored stone, almost.
Yep.
Very mineralized. It doesn't take but another couple heartbeats, which his don't do anymore, but
Yep.
like yours do, so you can still measure before it's very clear that rather joyfully, given the circumstances, this man has passed beyond the veil.
So it's only one?
Yet the other bottle is like still corked and in his other hand. One of them is just off, and like it's all pretty much gone.
I'm just
Irene's gonna go
I'm keeping
confiscate
track
those
of
bottles.
I'm just keeping track of Bang's thoughtless death count. Like this, people that he's killed by not really by accident, but just thoughtlessly. So that's two.
That's two, yeah.
Yeah.
So you said Irene's gonna confiscate the empty
Bottles
bottle
and,
and
return them to. And if anybody asks, unblessed Holy Spirit. Holy Blessed.
well, that's fair. Even as you're retrieving the bottles, you can actually see, like, along the veins and arteries, you can, like, towards the wrist, you can actually see that calcification spreading. And you managed to get the bottle out of the hand just before that hand looks like it's never going to uncurl again. The closing seems mostly unaffected, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's the most unwanted gargoyle is being made right there in the alley.
Hunchback of Tombstone.
Yep.
Have you seen the pooping gargoyle? Apparently, it was an angry mason made one that turned around the other way, and the water comes out of its arse, and they hid it in some dark corner of the castle that they were building. Yeah. Apparently, it was an upset mason.
I mean, I would.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. So,
Take the bottle back over to the wagon and. You better tell these.
Maybe I was using the wrong hand, and I'd start with the left hand. Bless the wine, bless the wine, bless.
I mean, if you can keep an eye on this operation so we can get somewhere safe, because I'm guessing you saw the outcome. If you don't mind describing it.
Yeah, kind of turned to stone right there in the alley. From the inside out.
How's that board coming along in the cart? Is it spreading or is it pretty much still?
it's pretty still.
It was just one or two drops, right?
Yeah, it was a few drops here and there. Like the spots seem bigger than the drop would warrant, but they didn't keep going.
I want to
But-
try something. Can I have a drop of that? Somebody?
No.
Don't have a
Oh,
circulatory
okay.
system.
Can-
So
Oh, sorry. Can you just put a drop of it on? And I look around and point to something stone. Like on this step. You pour some of that on the step. I want to see what it does.
I mean, we got an open bottle.
Yes, he did probably grab both bottles.
I
yeah, there's
hope you
still
didn't
a
leave the
few
other
little
bottle there.
dribbles in the bottle that was the nameless gentleman's demise.
Alright.
And if that works, then we can keep it all in the baptismal font. We'll be fine. It's made out of stone, right? You guys are
I guess
making
if
that
it
face again.
Figured stuff to stone land. I guess the bottle wouldn't survive, would it?
Yeah,
Glass is apparently a kind of stone.
Yeah, if you shake a little few dribbles out of the bottle onto the step, it just kind of plops and lands there.
Yep. Okay.
he's very carefully avoiding any splash.
Good call. Good call. Just like bloop bloop.
These are good boots. Boots are made for walking.
Not for calcifying.
So, we need to find a place to put it that nobody will drink it. Is there a fountain? Nobody, even no matter how drunk they are, would drink out of a fountain, right?
Would you?
I have occasionally fallen into a fountain. Oh shit, flaw in the plan.
Father, do you think our friend would be able to help us out with storing this safely? Because his house seemed pretty far away from anybody. Not like all the way back, but down the alleys.
I just had a thought.
Oh, please.
So what happens if you pour this on, say, I don't know, a window frame or a door and the floor it's attached to, after we melt it a little bit with the death rock gas? We could seal the door shut. I don't know why we'd want to, but we could.
I mean, you could seal a mine shut with that.
Oh,
So you say if something
shit.
couldn't move.
What happens if we spill this on John's feet?
But we still got to store this somewhere where we're not going to turn more tombstone to stone.
Right. I still say the baptismal font is the safest place.
I mean, I'm thinking like Hank's place, if you'll let us.
I agree with that.
Does he have a baptismal
Oh,
font?
welcome back, Amanda. No, he just has like a place where nobody really visits.
Okay. We just need a place to keep it that isn't going to turn to stone.
That people aren't gonna snag it from under our feet. So we only have one mysterious body after the previous one that shows up on the papers in the morning.
You know how we
You just
started
gotta-
the... Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, maybe we can use this to stop his shadow magic. Keep him in place somehow.
Turn
Black
a
cemented
shadow
shoes.
into a rock and pin him there.
It's just fill a bottle with this stuff and throw at him. Smash it on his chest or something.
But what would that do to the thing in his chest?
I mean, what's it do to Ghost Rock? No idea. What's it do to that particular Ghost Rock? Have absolutely zero ideas.
How about none of you need to worry about that, but just kill him, and I'll deal with the thing in his chest.
Okay, but so I mean, I guess, where are we doing with the wine in the cart that just killed a person?
Where's
There's
Hank when
already
you need
one.
him? Sorry. Cool.
There's already one monster out and about. They might just consider it a different type of monster.
So we brought Medusa to Tombstone.
Exactly.
Speaking of which,
So
You
Medusa's
know
got
how-
a queue.
you know how Honest John heard, or we started the rumor about the really nice pistols? If he's a collector, or he steals stuff, what if we start a rumor about the bestest wine in the whole world, hidden in the church, and we let him break in and drink his own stupid ass to his rocky doom?
Or we tell them that it's at the, that they're keeping it real safe at the bar that he frequents when he's here. You
We
know,
could
the whole-
sneak in there and hide it and then tell him where to find it and let him do the dirty work for us.
Right.
Pretty much.
I've never anti-stole before.
Or
Yeah, we might need a gambler.
We also don't know what kills him yet, so I think we should melt him and turn him into stone and shoot him. I'm just pointing around the room at all the people that can do this stuff. And then give him a random unlabeled potion.
what, you want to turn his hair green or something?
You're starting to act like this person's Rasputin.
Pretty
Um,
much is.
He already
Right.
didn't die once. I want to make sure he finishes the job he started. Plus, I'm going to rip off his head and shit down his neck.
So I guess, are we on our way to Hank's for this conversation, or are we just still like
Yeah,
on the side of the church?
I think
Yeah.
that makes sense, yeah.
Well, then, you head to Hank's, and unsurprisingly, I imagine Hank is Bang Deuce. Not surprisingly, Hank is just kind of hanging out on the porch when you roll up with the wagon, the priest that you bought off Wish, and the worst rot gut to ever grace Tombstone. It is actually now the worst thing anybody has had to drink at Tombstone officially. So, and he just kind of, he looks very concerned and amused at the same time.
Hmm?
He just goes, "You have made something truly awful, haven't you?"
It was the intent.
Yeah, well, You definitely achieved that with flying colors. I'm guessing you want to keep that here for safekeeping for now.
Somewhere a drunkard's not, or another drunkard isn't going to get at it.
We
Yeah,
can keep it in my cellar.
Keep banging away from it, please.
I don't want anything to do with that. I'm still figuring out how to melt stuff.
Yeah, this is like third or fourth on his list, obviously.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can keep it in my cellar. Nobody breaks into my cellar. At least nobody who gets back out again.
Well, except for one thing. Is it dark in your cellar?
Yes,
So that's kind of like a shadow, right?
kind of.
So your shit ain't safe for nothing unless you light that place up.
Not quite.
Is that not how it works?
It's not how it works if you have the right knowledge.
Oh,
It is possible to ward a place from the shadows. However, it's not like a little token you can just carry around and put all over the place. It's actually worked into the bedrock. Not that John has ever had a reason to try and get in this cellar because he doesn't know I'm here. But better safe than sorry.
so connected thought. If there's no shadows, he can't go, right?
Correct. He needs some sort of shadow to step into. Often his own shadow will work, but other shadows, deeper shadows, work best.
Well then, let there be light! Except I scream. I'm not gonna because my mic's right there, but yeah, it absolutely bellows because he's still in his robes, right? Then let there be light! Later!
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
It
Yells
works at
that
like
too.
6 a.m. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Somewhere around dawn would be nice. Hallelujah, save the whales.
Oh. Oh dear. Well, okay. Well, he very carefully he gets on some thick gloves, like up to his elbows. He's not going to answer any questions as to why he has those, but he has them, and he takes the bottles and, if you want, the remaining barrel down to his cellar and stores them away.
If allowed, I'm kind of going to insist if I help him kind of put them away. So I at least know where they roughly are.
He'll allow it. He takes
Okay.
you down a flight of stairs. There's a locked door, pretty heavy looking locked door, and actual small wine rack, actually already holding bottles. Your stuff he just puts in a corner, away from everything else. He's like, it's over here. If you take it out, please take it all the way out. Don't leave any lying around the house or anything. Otherwise, it'll be here when you need it.
We're hoping we can at least get a bottle at the, locked away nicely at the golden. You said minecart was where his hole was?
The Gold Strike.
Gold Strike? We're thinking to see if we can get one of those squared away and then have a legendary bottle of wine at the Gold Strike to see if he's interested in trying to steal it.
That could work. You want to spruce up one of the bottles a little bit more, though. A legendary bottle of wine is going to look a little nicer. Maybe have some sort of branding or some such. Maybe seal the cork with wax. Oh, do you?
We're thinking the Holy Spirit for it, but we don't really know. Too many people are good at glass blowing.
That's the first time Bang actually heard the name, and he just folds. Like, there's not even an in-breath. He's just on the floor. Just...
Irene, you were going to say something?
What if we presented it to him as a challenge? Just combine with the gambling idea.
Publicly turning some into stone doesn't end well.
What about another heist.
So we set the boy a series of things that he just can't help himself but steal. Whoops, wrong voice. Holy fuck. Oops. So we set him up a trap.
Mortel.
Yeah, Mortel's never very deep, let me tell you. But yeah. So we set a trap with the most amazing things ever that he just can't help himself but stealing. Except for one thing. He's not here to steal. He's here to party.
He is absolutely here.
He's
We just have to see if we can get his interest enough to decide to both party and have a job.
Wouldn't that just be the best heist of all time?
Possibly even his last.
I'll drink to that, but not this
But
shit.
not these.
Well, that seems like a good place to wrap things up for the night. Although I will leave you with this parting thing.
Yes.
Come the morning, Irene, since you'll probably still be the only ones in town, there are actually 2 inexplicable suspicious deaths.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
He didn't get his
But we'll get to
feeding.
that next week.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for that. He didn't get to feed. He had to go finish. Yeah, he had to go get his second meal. Yep.
Was right.
Yep. Oh, that was beautiful. Well,
The damn impulsiveness.
yes. We inside joke. We all know Oedicus would have followed that shit up. He just would have wandered off to try and talk them out of their evil ways. But Oedicus isn't here. We've got us instead.
Yep.
But another great session. I really like this game because it's that balance that I love. It's a serious plot line with serious people with serious stuff to get resolved, but at the same time it's silly and it's fun, but the plot is moving forward with the silly. The silly is not taking over. You know, it's a mix, and I love every second of it. Deadlands is a system that positively screams for this kind of gameplay. And it's perfect. Everybody's just absolutely into it. Once the gunfight starts, it's going to get even more Wild West than anybody who hasn't seen it played before can imagine. It's an awesome system. So thank you for running it. First of all, Batcal, I appreciate that very, very much. Also to everybody that played tonight, Amy, and to Nick and to Sarah, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to everybody that wasn't here tonight, hope you're feeling better. To everybody in chat, thank you. Thank you for popping in. Thank you for being part of the conversation. Thank you for breaking me several times. I love our chat. It's absolutely fun. And it's one of the main reasons I do this. I love the feedback. So thank you to you guys as well. Also, thank you to the YouTube people in the future. If you watched all the way to here, please hit that like button, because you did. If you watched all the way to here, just hit the button. And hit the bell while you're there, because I'm at it again and hardly ever put stuff out on a regular sort of basis. I think I put 3 out again today, so you know, you'll see them. The only way you're going to see them in time is if you have the notification bell clicked. So with that, we are back up to 6 days a week now over here, so tune in for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night we've got a Deeper Delve, which is an interesting twist on Lost Mines of Phandelver. Thursday nights we've got Deviant Futures, which is a twist on a twist on a twist of a great game, and we're really enjoying it. And apparently I keep getting messages that say things like, why have all their names changed? And I think after watching tonight, we know at least some of the answers to that. It's probably the same reason as here. Then on Thursdays, we're coming back to the Fun Shot Fridays. Watch the Discord tomorrow for the announcement. I got to make sure that I get the actual games first before I announce them, the ones that we're going to play. But I absolutely positively plan on doing a Fun Shot this Friday and every Friday moving forward. So tune into that. Saturday nights is then Necrobiotic, our game set in a very dark world, but a game that's all about hope. And then Sunday is our Stars Without Number campaign, Gorgeous Theta. which is a really gritty, tough, old-school space adventure that is that classic sci-fi RPG. So stick around for all of that, and many, many more is coming in the future. One-shots and other shows coming in the future. We will soon, fairly soon TM at least, be 7 days a week on this channel. So that's pretty amazing to me. So for that, thank everybody. And because of that, please, until next time, be nice to each other. Good night.